6:03 on Tuesday morning, December 17th. We're at 50 degrees. We could see highs today around 65. Good morning. I'm Michelle Basch.
And I'm John Aaron. The top local story we're following, we are learning this morning that a young child shot and severely wounded a 5-year-old girl in D.C. WTOP's Luke Luker tells us police believe the child got a hold of an unsecured gun.
D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith says officers arrived at an apartment on Galveston Street Southwest last night at around 6:30.
Unseen officers found a female victim believed to be 5 years old, suffering from a gunshot wound to the upper body.
That girl was hospitalized in critical condition. The shooter is believed to be her roughly 3-year-old brother. Police believe that toddler got a hold of a gun inside the apartment.
Officers arrested an adult male who was inside the apartment and was tasked with providing support or care for the children at the time the incident occurred.
That man was asked to watch the kids while their mother was out running errands. An older sister of the two kids was also arrested for assaulting a special police officer.
This incident really highlights the danger of unsecured firearms in homes and especially around children.
Luke Luker, WTOP News.
New information this morning on a bill in Congress that would give D.C. control of the federally owned RFK Stadium site. Supporters expect it to be tacked on to a broader spending bill that must be passed by the end of this week in order to avoid a government shutdown before the holidays. WTOP's Nick Iannelli talked about it with D.C.'s mayor.
On Capitol Hill,
there are a lot of issues, not just ours, that I know that they're grappling with.
But D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says she hopes the bill passes by the end of this week. If D.C. gets control of the RFK Stadium site, the city could redevelop the area, and it would be viewed as a major advantage for D.C. in potentially getting the Commanders to move there.
So it's time to move the bill.
The bill has hit snags in Congress as Maryland lawmakers who'd like to keep the Commanders in their state have been reluctant to support it. Do you think Maryland lawmakers have been unfair to D.C. during this process?
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that we're all working in good faith to do what's right for both of our jurisdictions in the region.
In the district, Nick Iannelli, WTOP News.
Have you noticed a lot of people coughing and sneezing around you? WTOP's Mike Murillo reports there's a lot going around as winter sets in.
Viruses apparently love the holiday season, too.
They tend to kind of get everybody.
Dr. Catherine Cox-Flaherty, a pulmonologist with Innovis, says other than an uptick in walking pneumonia in kids, the caseloads are
It's around par for the course for winter time.
Beyond COVID and flu, they're seeing a lot more people come in with the common cold. Also,
RSV is another kind of common one. It's especially common in young kids, but can certainly make adults ill as well.
She says her best advice for staying well:
really being sure you wash your hands, try to avoid touching your face, your eyes.
And another big one is
trying your best to avoid situations in which you could get sick, particularly if you are somebody who's more vulnerable to getting sick.
Mike Murillo, WTOP News.
Did you get a real Christmas tree this year? WTOP's Juan Herrera spoke to an expert for tips on how to take care of it.
Everyone loves having a real Christmas tree for the holidays. While having one of these trees in your home looks great, keeping it looking fresh throughout the holiday season can be a real challenge.
The key is getting it in water as soon as possible. Some people think, oh, I've got my fresh cut, I don't need to put up my tree for a couple days. No, you need to get it in water right away.
That's Beth Bossio, the manager of Quarter Pine Tree Farm in Smithfield, Pennsylvania. Once your tree is up, Bossio says it's important to keep it away from heat sources.
You don't want to put it near a vent that can dry it out. Try to keep it away from anything that's going to dry out your tree, like a fireplace.
She says following these directions will help keep the needles on your tree for a good while.
You should be able to keep it past Christmas and into the new year.
Juan Herrera, WTOP News.
Coming up in Money News, why some newer homeowners might be ready to sell now. Traffic and weather in 30 seconds.